Hi, my name is Daphne, and I'm going to tell you about intimacy. The word intimacy means to be close, to have detailed knowledge of someone or something. And so to be emotionally intimate is for someone to know what makes you tick, what makes you happy, what makes you sad, what motivates you. Physically intimate is when they know every freckle on your body. They know all your tickle spots. They know the sensitive parts of you and things like that. These two things, types of intimacy that I'm referring to, is the intimacy that should happen between a husband and a wife. So emotional and physical intimacy, they're both very much tied together. Because without emotional intimacy, it's hard to get deeper with the physical intimacy. Yes, you could have sex with somebody, have an orgasm, get it in, it feel good, bow, boom, yes. But that connection you feel when you know that person really knows you and their desire in that moment is to make you happy, just like your desire in that moment is to make them happy. You know, that is what is supposed to happen in a marriage with physical intimacy. And so this is the basis of Holy Sexy, the game. It's for married couples. It's about becoming more emotionally or enhancing the emotional intimacy between husbands and wives, which in turn ups the ante or makes the physical intimacy even more great, even more special. The connection is even greater. But most of all, in the midst of all of that, there should be a spiritual intimacy, you know, and you don't really hear that too much. But if you read Songs of Solomon, when people hear Songs of Solomon, they think, yes, he's talking about sex. He is, but it's so much deeper than that. Because in Songs of Solomon, chapter 5, first verse, he says, my garden, my sister, my spouse. And when you hear that, I'm like, ooh, wee. Solomon knew he was onto something right there. Because the garden, if y'all, I was born in the 70s. So Secret Garden, here in the garden. Ooh, it's late at night. I ain't got no business singing. But there's a song called Secret Garden. And Solomon's talking about the garden. He's talking about the woman's body. Then you say sister. And when I looked into that, they're talking about you share the same God, equally yoked. Your God is my God. And spouse, I'm thinking, and if I'm wrong, please correct me. I'm always willing to learn and I'm willing to be corrected. But that's that friendship level, that intimacy where she knows you. She's not just friendship between men and women is it's iffy because you could fall in love with a friend. And this is why, in my opinion, it's so important for your spouse to be your best friend. So, in my opinion, based on what I've read and my understanding, keep in mind I'm willing to be enlightened. To be spouse is to have that intimacy, that emotional intimacy, your heart and your soul, And so, and the purpose of Holy Sexy is when holy is to be dedicated, sexy is to be desirable. Look them up. That's what they mean. Holy is to be dedicated. Sexy is to be desirable. And when you put them together, holy sexy, that means holy sexy in a marriage. Okay? You are being desirable, dedicated to being desirable to your spouse and your spouse alone. Nobody else. For instance, I can't help but to be desirable, but I'm just joking. But I do my best not to be tantalizing or, to show off my curves by myself, if that makes sense. When I want to look attractive, don't get me wrong, and I do, but there are times when if I'm looking sexy, I keep that for when I'm with my husband. I don't like for my sexiness to go unaccompanied because then I leave myself open to men coming for me. Don't get me wrong. A man will come for you with or without a ring, even if they know you're married. Same thing with women. Because then it's like no strings attached. They get the benefits, blah, blah, blah. But I don't like that personally. I don't like for men to hit on me. I don't. The only man I want to hit on me is my husband. And that's a whole nother thing right now. But point I'm making is, so I do my best to keep that, to stay sexy, intentionally be sexy when I'm with him, so he can enjoy it, and he in turn does that for me, where he wears the cologne I like, and he wears his hair the way I like. You know what I'm saying? He grows his hair out looking all sexy, but that's neither here nor there. I digress. But holy sexy when spouses dedicate themselves to being desirable to their spouses. That means yes, you have days when you have the kids, you have work, this and the other, but you do your best, because it's not always about your appearance. It's also the things you do, the time you spend, the things you give. That depending on how your spouse interprets love is what you're doing. So that's it for today. Once again, my name is Daphne. God bless you. I love y'all. And I look forward to talking to you again. Bye.